Hi everybody, I'm Meredith and I am a Star Beauty Guide here at LimeLight by Alcone, and I am here today to talk to you about concealers. So we all know that we can use concealers for under our eyes. We know we can use them for blemishes, but we can also use them for a few other things that we're going to talk about today. But I also wanted to just talk to you about the quality of your concealer. So a lot of times I feel like with concealers I've used in the past, I've needed to either use a ton of product, right? And then I get creasing under my eyes. It looks thick and cakey, right? And they just haven't performed. They haven't done the job. Well, that's all gone with LimeLight's concealers. They are super pigmented. They're waterproof, and we're gonna show that today. And they also come in 7 different colors, so there's definitely one for everybody. And they all work kind of in different ways, even on the same skin type. So the first thing we are going to do is I will show you some of the colors. So the only one I actually don't have is Concealer 5. So this is Concealer 0. Okay, it is super light, super light. I use this one. I sometimes will mix it, okay, with Concealer 3 to go under my eyes. I do use this to prime my eyelids. Yes, I use it as eyeshadow primer. That's probably the main way that I use this one. But yeah, it's super light. It's great. Here we have, oh, Concealer 0 was in this one. Okay, we have 0, we have 1. Okay, you can see 1 kind of has a greenish tinge to it. This concealer, if you have redness on your face anywhere, you need Concealer 1, okay? It can be blended with your foundation to take away redness in your face, and it works amazing. This greenish hue, yeah, it does wonder for that. Even if you have like red circles under your eyes, you could mix a little bit of this concealer in with whatever color you normally use, and it will help balance that out. This is Concealer 2, right here. Concealer 3. 4 is a little bit darker. Yeah, this is 4. Here's 4. Oh no, sorry, that's 0. Just kidding. Here's 4. You can use, if you're fair like me, if you have fair skin like me, you can use this concealer actually to contour. So our concealers can also be used to highlight and contour. That's another way I use Concealer 0 sometimes, is to highlight. So this is Concealer 4. Like I said, I don't have 5. And then this is Concealer 6. And if you are darker skin than I am, you know, if you tan well, you can use a little bit of this to contour. It's it's way too dark for you know, for me, who looks like a lobster half the time, to contour, okay? The first thing I want to show you is how this is. Remember I said this concealer is waterproof. So I'm going to show you by putting, okay. So I am going to put this, and I'm using Concealer 6 on my hand because obviously it shows up well. So I'm going to put it on and then kind of blend it, you know, how we would, right? So there, it's blended on my hand. You can definitely see where it's at, right? You can see that. Okay, let's go on a field trip. Let's go to the bathroom. And we are going to put my hand under the water, and I can't, whoops, wrong light switch. There we go. I cannot turn my phone around. It won't let me. I don't know why. So there, hopefully you can see. There, you can see, okay? Getting my hand wet. Can you see that? Yeah, it's not. And I'll go back in front of the light. I'm gonna dry my hand off a little bit. I'll go back in front of the light so you can see it a little bit better. As my kids would say, I'm not an octopus, so I only have so many hands to do so many things at one time, and I cannot hold my phone, wipe my hand, and do all that at the same time. I just am not that talented. So there you go. You can see, right? You can see that it's there. It's not moving. It's waterproof. It stayed on my hand. So if you need this for, you know, heavier coverage, gosh, I cannot talk today. And you have to, you know, if it's raining or, you know you're going to be near water or you're with your kids, you're going to get splashed, whatever, you can have confidence that it's not going anywhere. Okay. So I showed you that it's waterproof. We do not need concealer 5 or 6 anymore because it is way too dark for this girl. All right. So I did tell you that you can use it as eyeshadow primer, right? So we're going to do that. We're going to show you how we do that. Here we go. Like I said, I'm going to use concealer 0 for that, and I just use our concealer brush. It is brush number, I'm not sure what brush number it is, but it's our concealer brush. Literally, I'm dipping it in. You don't need much, right? And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of use the brush to get it on, and then I'll go back and rub it with my finger to kind of smooth it out. And sorry, I'm looking over the side to look in my mirror. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of use my hand and rub it in. So my eyes are primed now. And what this does is it not only sets up a great base for my shadows to cling to, it's gonna help, because it's waterproof, it's gonna help those shadows stay on my eyes and stay all day long. It helps them last. It's seriously like an amazing eye primer. I love using it as eye primer. So that is way number, I guess, 1 that you could use it. Obviously, you can also use it as a traditional concealer. So we're going to use that way. I'm actually going to scrape some out. This is my own personal palette. This is concealer 3. And again, seriously, like, you do not need much. Oh, my hand's still wet. Well, we'll put it on my thumb like this. So I'm going to put it on my thumb. I'm going to kind of warm it up a little because we don't need much, right? And then I'm going to dab it on in a triangle under your eye because you're trying to draw the attention down, and highlight under that eye. And like I said, sometimes I mix this with either concealer 0 or concealer 1, just depending on what I have going on that day. You know, if I've got lots of dark circles, you know, I might do a little bit of 0 to help brighten it up some. If I feel like I have a lot of redness, I'm gonna mix 1 in. And that's what I love about these, is they're completely customizable. The other thing you can do is you can mix these with your foundations. So my foundation is already on. I do have another foundation video with Must Do and actually mixing the concealer in. In that video, I use concealer 1 to help with the redness in my face, in my cheeks. But the other thing you can do is, if your foundation shade is a little bit off because you've been in the sun, or you might be between a couple foundation shades, you know, none of us are exactly the same. You can actually mix the concealer with your botanical foundation to get that perfect shade for you. So if you need to darken it up a little, you can use a concealer that's slightly darker, or vice versa. If you need to lighten it up, you can use a lighter concealer. I also said we could use these to highlight and contour. So we are going to just quickly do that, and I am just going to use my hand because my concealer brush was in brush number, concealer number 6, and as I said, that's way too dark for me. So for me, I contour with number 4 if I'm using the concealer, and I'm just gonna go right in with my hand, okay? And we're gonna do the duck face and then run the contour down. And I'm going to go back and blend this in with a sponge or with a beauty blender. Okay, so there's my contour. Then we're going to go back in with 0 to give a little bit of highlight. I'm going to go right above that. Okay. Okay, So we can highlight and contour with our concealers. We can mix with foundation. We can use as an eyeshadow primer. The other thing that you can do is, again, a traditional concealer use is if you have blemishes. These certainly work perfect to cover those. So thankfully my skin, thanks to my LimeLight skincare, is actually looking pretty good right now, but we can pretend. Okay, we can pretend that I have, a blemish, let's say like right here. And again, a little, seriously, goes such a long way. And see, it's flawless. Like, you don't need much. I literally tapped my finger in and just dabbed it on my face. Okay, so we better go back and blend this highlight and contour because I'm looking kind of crazy like that. So I'm just using the Blenderful because that's what I have sitting right here. You can use a damp sponge. You could use, you could even probably use a brush if you wanted to. I prefer the Blenderful or a sponge to blend my contour. So again, I went super light, super quick on this. Okay, so anyhow, that is all about our concealers. I hope that this is helpful. Like I said, these concealers are amazing. They're waterproof, they're super pigmented, and you can use them for so many different things, If you have any other questions, certainly feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to everyone later. I'm Meredith, a Star Beauty Guide here at LimeLight by Alcone. Bye.